Afternoon, everybody. How's it going? What's the weather like where you are? I was actually asked that this morning by somebody in China. And it's just overwhelming, isn't it, sometimes when you do these things? You think, I'm speaking to somebody in China. How is that possible? But it's brilliant. Thank you for everybody remembering to come on this page on a Monday. It's only because I'm at Create and Craft on Wednesday, and we know that the internet's not so good. And I don't like to sort of not do a tile when we've got one sort of planned in. So it's a little bit earlier then. You can get Wednesday off. So, okay, what we're doing then? Tile 181. I have inked my tile. There we go. I've already put a bit of ink. Just a little bit of ink. Look, I've spritzed it with a little bit of water and then I've just dried it out. Nothing crazy with that. Whatever colours you want to use. I've put a couple in there. So I've got some blue-based coloured pencils. Of course, I've got my pen, pencil, tortillon, my white pencil. And I've got a spare tile here so I can draw a few lines with it. So we're all good to go. So, yeah, hi everybody. It's great to sort of see you. I know it's Leslie's birthday today. She did have her presents early because she did have the weekend off. So, yeah, she's all sorted that way. And, yeah, she's spending it with her hubby because apparently we spend more time together than she and he does. Okay. Shall we make a start then? Okay, I'm gonna create a grid today, which is why I'm coming in with a tile. So we've got that basic. So I'm gonna start with my pen, and I'm gonna put a border in there. I'm not gonna have it sort of too small, but here we go. It's about there, isn't it? Okay. So say straight in with pen with this one because this is we're gonna work up to anyway. So here we go. There we are. And around we go. And into the next one. So one in there. And along. And down. I've got no problems with Dobby today. He's back in the office and I'm working from home. So to have my car MOT'd. So it's all fine. Okay. So here we go then. I'm going in with pencil. I'm just going to mark one lacy, so about the middle, and then I'm going to mark another one, so I'm splitting that space, and another one, splitting that space there, and I'm going to turn over, and then one here, in with there, and that one as well. Okay, so I've got sort of 4 squares either way. So again, I'm just going to come in. Chris, it is Monday. Yes, it is. So we know that there's not always such a good reception at Create and Craft, so we're doing the tile today instead. Now I'm going a little bit heavier with this pencil line so you can see it. Please do it lightly because you don't want to have to rub it out too much if you can help it. And you don't want to see it in the final tile. Okay? I know, Chris. I know it gets confusing. But I don't want us to miss out on a tile. I mean, we're now on the downhill spiral towards 200. Goodness me, 200. Oh, you are funny. You really are. There we are. So, okay. So I've got my grid. Now you can go smaller. You can go a bit larger if you want to. It's entirely up to you. But I'm going to stick with this side. I think it's great for you to see. So, all right. Are we ready with this then? Back in with pen. Okay. Oh, Joe. Yeah, I did post that out. Honestly, I hope you got it. All right. So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to create a little curve diagonally from one point to the next. Okay, just in one square there. Oh, Lynn, honestly, you won't see it once it's drawn. You'll be fine. Hang in there. Give it a go. All right. And then next bit. And the next one. Okay, all the way down. So I've started all the way down the centre. Right, let's try the other way around now. I'm going to come round this way. And following the same sort of muscle memory really as we did before. Just sort of creating that little shape. Oh, Janine, I'm not bringing anything new as such. I'm bringing some stencils back that we've already seen. Just so it's great to have a reminder, I think, of what you have got. Or if anybody's missed out, it's nice to come back, isn't it, and have a look. So definitely the natives, the dream catcher, the feather. See what I've done there? Moving it along. Same on this one. And I think I'm bringing the circle frame, some of the dies. So a bit of a mixture really. Flowers, butterflies. Yeah, a bit of a mixture. All sort of flying and feathers-ish, I think. Janice, I think it's 10:30 and 12, I think. Only I wouldn't be home on time to do the live because I've got to stay till 9 to do a US show. So that's the whole point. Okay, so we've got this shape going down here. I'm just going to turn it on to the side there. And I'm going to do the same again. This way this time. And along. So I'm always sort of starting in the middle. And then I'll work my way outwards. And if you turn your tile around, you can see that I'm getting that similar curve shape, working my way around there. Okay. So let's do the same with this side. And thank you for everybody posting the tile swaps. It's lovely that you're getting them now. I'll post mine in a little bit. I've already photographed it, so she'll get that done. There we go. And it's lovely to see so many names and people coming back to classes next month. Really looking forward to that. Okay. Oh, see, that's half the work done, really. So we've got this sort of cross now in the middle here. I'm just going to make this a little bit larger. And I'm just going to come on in here and draw in a bubble. Now, whether you prefer to use a stencil, draw around something, or draw a bubble. Doesn't have to be perfect, it really doesn't. As long as it's sort of round and in the middle, it's all good. There we go. See, there's my other one. And I'm doing this at each point, see, where they cross. So along here, same as before. And of course that one there, that sort of gives me my 4 in the middle. And then we've got some on the side here, so I can do a half one on each of those sides. And turn it round. Look how that's worked, it's lovely, isn't it? And then that one. Half there. And turn it round again. There we go. Same on this one. And then again. Same on that one. And one on that one. Let's have a look at that. There we are. Alright. So I'm just going to aura inside these shapes. That just means that I'm going to draw around that shape. So whatever shape you've got, you're going to draw around it. See, it's quite narrow. And then this one. sort of giving it a little bit of a border on the inside. And then this one. And then turn it round. And same with this one. Okay. So I'm going to do the same with the others. So again, just sort of taking your time with this one. Chris, yes, I did ink my tile at the beginning, before I did any drawing. It's just a background, it's not something that has got to be really crazy. I just added a little bit of colour in there. That's all. Okay. Same, and now you notice I'm doing the same one each time. I find it easier to do this shape. But if you find it easier to do the other side first, please feel free. Yeah, do you know, it reminds me of the cathedral window patchwork. This one doesn't it? You know, if you put a little bit of faux stitching on this, you're there. I did do a full blanket with that. I'm sure I've still got it actually. It used to sit over the top of the piano just to stop it getting dusty. The piano, that is, not the blanket. There we are. Alright. The swirly ink thing. No, it doesn't really have a name. I've just inked a tile. There's nothing fancy about it. So, yeah, just get a bit of ink on it. And as we know, you can do that part way now, because we did that on Friday on tile 180. So if you want to draw it a little bit and then ink it, you can. Or if you want to draw it all and then ink it, you can do that. So many possibilities, isn't there? Of course, if you've got book 6, it shows all the variables that you can sort of do around it. It showed you how you can add colour to your tiles and things. There we are. It's crazy, isn't it? We're talking about book 6 as though it's like, yeah, that's a normal thing. Who'd have thought we'd come so far and done so many? It's fab. I absolutely love it. And along there. Okay, so I'm doing this with all of those shapes. So just sort of systematically work your way around. Just giving it a bit of a chance. There we are. Okay, let's have a look at that then. Alright, not so bad at all. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in a rubber just so I can remove some of those dark pencil lines now. And you'll notice I've got to be really gentle with it because I don't want to disturb the ink underneath. There we go, see. So yours is going to be really light, so you'll not even notice them there. But of course, if you're going to do this, just be gentle because I say it will affect the ink underneath. So take your time with it, okay? There we are. And just sort of. Okay, all right. So we've got sort of that. So you can still see some pencil lines. I really don't mind that, and I quite like it because it really does say, look, this has been hand done. Okay, ready for the next bit then. Now again, I'm going to go sort of from left to right, but if you want to go right to left, if that's more comfortable, please feel free to do so. That's absolutely fine. But once you've decided, go with it the same way, okay? So I'm going to go from here to here. All right? And I'm just going to colour that in, just so I can remind myself. Okay? Left to right. You might have gone the other way, but that's absolutely fine. Okay. So then let's create another one now going this way. And then this way. You see, I'm sort of crisscrossing it over each time. Don't worry if it's not quite in the middle. It's not a problem. Okay. And then I'm just going to fill in that bit there. Okay. So I'm going to turn around to the next one. Oh, and I'm going to go from left to right again and fill that one in. And then to the opposite side. And then this one. I think, you know, sometimes we try and complicate tangles and really worry about getting them perfectly in line. Just sort of go with the flow and don't expect the same outcome for everyone, and see where it leads you. Just sort of try and take the thought out of it. So I'm going left to right again. So every time that I do that, you see, it's the same way. And this way. Now, if you sort of notice, I'm not always going in the middle. It's sort of not quite centre, because otherwise we wouldn't get enough in there. So just try not to sort of plan it. Try not to think too much about it. And, just sort of do it by eye. See how it goes. Okay. Next one. So I'm going left to right. So you might be going to say right to left. That's fine. You just do opposite to what I'm doing. Okay, just make sure as well that your lines touch each other, see? I know some of mine haven't quite. It's a little tricky looking around the camera. Okay, and again, I'm just going to fill that space in. Alright, so we've got that kind of thing. Okay, so I'm going to move along to the next one and do the same again. So again, I'm moving left to right. I'm just going to fill that in. And then work my way down the shape. See, curves from one side, then the next. One side, then the next. When you get to the bottom, got a little space left. Just going to fill that in. Okay. I'm turning it round. And again, left, down to right. Oh, a bit of rubber there. Okay. So I just fill that little bit in there and then work my way down. Same every time. Okay. You sort of get into a flow with these. So I'm going to fill the whole space. You can decide how much of that you want to fill. You might want to make it a bit smaller. And again, fill the top in. And again, you might decide that you want to leave the top without filling it, or you want to come and fill them afterwards. It's absolutely fine. It's whatever works for you. There we are. Just working my way down. And again, it's going to fill the bottom. And of course, you could come in and use a different colour. I am going to add some more colour later, but I like to just use it as an accent. I know we've got the background filled today, but I'm going to accent a little bit as well. Okay. There we go. Another one done. Let's have a look at this. Alright, so that's 2 done. So same with the others. And I'm going to go left to right again. Fill that bit in. You might change that shape a little bit. And then of course, one way and then the next. Okay. Just working my way down there. So that one. And this one. Same again. Now I suppose you could, if you wanted to, go left and right and swap this about a little. It's obviously your tile, so you can do it whichever way you like. I just think if you swap the ways around you start, it gets a little bit confusing, and you sort of really have to think, oh, which way am I going now? So by keeping it the same every time, you know that you're starting off at the same thing. It's gonna be the same all the way around. So see, oh, just missed that one there. Just sort of make sure that they join. There we go. Just sort of fill in that bottom section. Same again. Along we go. Okay, and work my way around, just as before. This is, once you get higher, this is quite a nice tangle. It's great for using, almost like a pine coney kind of effect, and it can also look good on, like a ship's hull, things like that, because it gives that impression of some sort of weaving and winding going on. So it works nicely. It's nice on sort of flowers that haven't opened yet, things like that. But it's a very quick filler, if you want to fill a shape in quite quickly. It's kind of a bit wonky, works that way too. Alright, a little bit more there. And fill that one in. Okay. 2 more to do. Of course, don't try and keep up with me if you want to take your time with this. You can always watch it back later. Just do a few sketches so you get the hang of it, and unless you're trying to beat Chris to get yours on the page first as finished. Yeah, I know, Chris. We always use yours as a benchmark so we can see what we've been doing. It's great. You do normally post yours first, don't you? There you go. Okay, that's where we're at so far. A few more bits to do, of course. All right, I'm going to come in a little bit larger now. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn it round. So you see I've got sort of these shapes look more square than diamond. So I've got my row of dots there. Because what I want to do now is I'm going to come on in and I'm going to join the dots. But I'm only going to go to the line where it aura'd. And then I'm going to go underneath it. And to the next one. Then underneath. And the next one. So let's do the same with all the others. I'm working along. Oh, so somebody saying they didn't get their tool set. Can you just message me after and I'll make that happen for you. From when they ordered their book 6 from Create and Craft. Okay, so if I turn it this way now, do exactly the same again. All right. See, I'm just sort of reinforcing it by doing it twice. You don't have to, it just feels good to do it that way. And then same here. Just sort of joining. Going underneath those shapes we've created. Okay. Oh, see, Leslie's home, look, that's good. All safe and sound. All right, next bit then, let's have a look. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to choose, doesn't matter whether it's top and bottom or side by side. I'm going to just aura this shape here. But only sort of that bit there. And then same here. Along there and in there. You see? So then I'm going to add a stripe down the centre and then fill in the sides and then that side. And then the same here, I always start in the centre and then along this way and along this way. Okay, let's just have a look at that. You see? There we go. So I'm going to move along. I'm going to use the same thing here. I'm going to oar around that shape down here and here. You see? And then down the centre, and I'm going to put in a series of lines this side and this side. Oh, there we go. Okay. So let's do this one. Go along. Just following that shape. And then centre and down one side. And then down the other. Okay, so whether it's that way or that way, it doesn't matter. Okay. Oh, thank you, Deborah. Yeah, it is kind of, isn't it? So I'm going to do both of these at the same time. Now, you could do all of these at once if you wanted to, and then come and put your stripes in. But I would rather do it like this, because then at least I know that I'm going to get all my stripes in the right place and I'm not going to miss any out. And then along here. Okay. So there's those two. And then of course I'm going to do the same on this one. There. There. So my husband's just come home and offered to make me a cup of tea. Thank you very much. Okay. There we are. And I just, you know, sometimes you have to sort of give them a go. I know grids are not for everybody. But I know some people love grids, so I try and mix them up. But there's always organic things you can do with them. You don't have to keep them full grids. So, you know, this one's just sort of nice for that muscle memory, isn't it? It just keeps it in tune, because everything we're doing is the same within each section. But then once it's done, you don't actually see the original grid that's here. So I think that sort of works nice. And of course you can change it. You can put any tangle you like. So instead of stripes here, we could have gone for something more organic. So there's lots of options. So you can sort of make it your own, of course. But then what if we say did this on a main tile and then something more organic on a tiny tile and use this in the background? So that's quite a nice idea, a way to use them as well. There we are, see, just sort of filling that space in and save on that one. And then of course I'm just coming down this side now. So there's one here, look. I'm just going to fill that side in. And then of course one here. That one. There, oh, nearly one here. That's right. Just had to check then. It was just sometimes you and I have to look. I know. There we are. And into that one. Whew. Okay. It would, yeah, or even a front cover to something, wouldn't it? There's lots of possibilities. Okay. I feel all honoured now. I'm being called Our Sandra. Okay. So you see now, when I come to these centre points, I've still got a blank space either side. So I'm just going to add in a little curve in the centre and then one either side. So they're going to be quite small, but that's okay. If you can, put a line in. If you can't, not to worry. And then of course the same on this one, starting in the middle, one way, then the other. Only lines if you can. So back down. So little bobbles, middle, side by side, sort of squeezed in there. Same here, middle, side and side. Now of course you're still going to get here, so we're going to get half and then a sort of a side one there. And then a half and a side one there. Okay. There we go. Same down this side. Okay, so let's move along. And then of course, I've got one here. Now this is so yeah, I'm still going to put one in. Middle, side and side. Same here, middle, side, side. Okay. This one. So always coming from that sort of centre point there. Just facing towards that little bubble. Same there. You see just how these simple shapes just build up. Create something lovely. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to do those stripes there. I've missed them. But that's okay. I can always go back and add them in. Same on this one. There we go. And this one. You're always starting from the middle and working your way outwards, side and side. And then of course, just gonna do sort of the half of one there and there. And the same there. And on that one. Okay. So I'm just going to work on here and just sort of add in those stripes that I missed on that bottom edge. And this one. Going back, it's fine. Just nice that I remembered. Okay. Have a look at that. Okay. So let's have a move out. All right, not so bad at all, is it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little curve around the top of those. You see? Just sort of keeping it in with the rest of the tile. If you want to aura the shape completely, you can. I'm just going to put a little curve over the top. And there we are, just sort of finishes that little bit off. There we go. Now what you could actually, the space that's sort of left, this little gap here, you could come in and fill it with colour or with black ink, but you know, being that I've inked the tile, I think it's nice to see those little bits of colour underneath, so I'm going to leave them. Okay. So let's bring in a little bit of shadowing now. I'm going to start with my regular pencil first, and then I'm going to bring some colour in later. Okay. So let's go a little bit larger so we can see what I'm going to be doing here. So first off, let's come back to the shape here that we started. Now, there's multiple ways you can colour it. You can shade it top and bottom, or you can add a little bit, see, into each of those little folds. Same that way. This is going to take a little bit longer, but gives you a nice effect. So working all my way down, just a little bit. Those, and then those ones. Okay, I'm going to work all the way down of those. Okay, so you see here, this time it's folding this way. But, yeah, I do have some book sixes. Yes, we didn't have many left, but as you well know, we do print our own, and it was very nice that Dawn got the signed book. But that was a really nice thing. So you know exactly when that was made. It was kind of nice. If you don't know, we actually showed you on a video. Say Leslie and I did a video on how we make books, book 6, or any of the books really. And we actually signed one of them that we'd made that day. So, and then we hid it in amongst all the books, and then just sent it out, so we didn't know who got one. There was a couple of dodgy books in there as well, but I do apologise about that, whoever got them. But we've sorted them now. They were sort of a book with all the same page. Don't ask, don't know, but you do know if you've been to Sanntangle headquarters. There is a little bit of magic that goes on over there. So I think sometimes that day we were having a little bit of a mischievous Dobby or somebody going around causing trouble. So there you go. All right. So I'm just going to now sort of turn it around, and I'm going to do the same again. Okay, just either side. Now you know you're going to have a slightly sharper tortillon to be able to shade this. So if you've got one, hopefully, or if not, just might have to file one down a little bit because it's quite small. This. There you are. Okay. Seems a shame, doesn't it, to sort of cover up that lovely inking in the background, but it's an absolute must. It's this is what's going to change the whole tile. Okay. Same on this one. I must admit, after walking to the other end of the village today and back, obviously with my car being in for MOT, it just goes to show that, if you're weightlifting paper every day and running up and down those stairs, it does help, because I wasn't out of breath or anything, so I must be getting a little bit fitter. Joe, yes, we did. Oh, thank you so much. We did get our little gift. It's actually, I'm sure we've put it up on the wall, or it's ready to go up on the wall in the place. We did, didn't we, Leslie? We did. A little plaque. Thank you. I thought I'd messaged you. I'm sorry. I obviously did it in my head. Okay, so you can see here, all I'm doing is just adding little bits in the corners there. Right, I'm going to add a little bit to those sides around the bubble as well. There we are. So it's almost all the way around. So around the bubble, so both ends. There we go. See, this end and this end. There we go. Sometimes it's I'm looking at it sort of either through a camera or around it, and I don't always see what I plan to do. There we go. Now we're cooking. Okay, so little bits. Don't worry about colouring in neatly. It's just applying the pencil. And of course, if you want to add a little bit more afterwards, you can always repeat the process. But there we go. Okay, so I'm also going to just add a little bit along here, being that I'm not going to colour it in. There we go. See, I missed one there, look. Go that little curve. Okay, you see, just adding a little bit around that curve shape. Oh, you see, top and bottom, I'm just working my way around the tile. so we don't forget anything else. There we are, on that one. Okay, and that. So here we go then, tortillon. All right, I'm going to start at one end and just going to ever so gently soften the edge. You see I'm still leaving some of that space without any on. You just want to sort of soften it a little bit, you see. I'm going to complete these first. I'm going to sort of go in order of what I did. So let's just draw in those ones. You see, difference it makes, doesn't it? I mean, you could pull it out a little bit more if you need to, but don't cover the whole thing. And of course, remember that you're looking at mine really close up, so it'll look a little bit different when we zoom out. There we go. So in and out there, you just fill in those little bits in. Okay. Same with this one. So I've not had to turn my tile yet. I'm just going to do all of them there, facing this way. Then I'll turn it afterwards. So just sort of one side and then the other, sort of blending as we go. All right, same on this one. Oh, I didn't even do that one. What is the matter with me today? There we are. I missed a whole row. There we go. And that one. So easy to go back in and do it. It's not a problem. I know, I missed some. I think I've got them all now. If not, I'll work it out when I get there. There we go. It'd have looked a little bit odd, wouldn't it? Having everything else shaded and then just one row. Completely missed out. What was the matter with me? There we are. Okay. In with this one then. So. Working my way around. And the next one. There we go. So sort of this, I don't know, is this the most therapeutic bit, or do you find that the other bits are more therapeutic? Maybe the drawing or even creating the grid, maybe. All right, same along. Okay, just sort of working my way down. And this one out. Even though this one's quite dark, I'm still putting shadow in there because you want the overall effect. All right. Okay. So then let's have a look at these spaces in between. So I'm just going to, again, just sort of soften them off, even those little curves. There we are. So just ever so gentle. Again, I'm trying to leave a little space in the middle so we can keep that sort of colour of the tile in there. Again, I'm just going to work up one row and down the other. I know, really shading it is, isn't it? Sometimes, I don't know, I like to slow it down a little bit because it's almost that anticipation, isn't it? It's like Christmas Eve. You want Christmas Day to come, but you really want to savour Christmas Eve as well. So it's nice to take your time with this because it just, you see it start to materialise. Yeah. It's nice then to sort of look at it all as one. So I'm going to do that at the same time. See, I'm just sort of working it along a little bit. Yeah, Alison, I know what you mean. Yeah, sometimes you've got to do that, haven't you? And you can shade a bit and then blend it and then shade the next bits. Tell it to you. Okay. See, look, I've missed those as well. Not a problem. There you go, all done. And then of course, a little bit of pencil there. There we are. Okay, and again, just as before, I'm just going to work up and down. Now you might notice that there's one particular shape we've not added any pencil to at all. We've completely ignored them. Don't think I've forgotten them. I haven't. We'll come back to them in a short while. Okay, just adding that last row in. Let's see why you needed a sharp tortillon. Okay, so I'm going to just bring in my white pencil for a minute. So I'm just going to, you see these sort of striped ones, I'm just going to add a little bit in the middles, and just to sort of reiterate the fact that there's a highlight in there. I'm not going to blend it or anything. It's just giving it a little bit of depth, sort of straight across it, see? Oh, that Louise. No, I have something planned for those. There we are, so this one. Just sort of, add a little bit in. You see, it just sort of wakes it up a bit, doesn't it? Just makes a difference there. There we go. All right, so let's bring in the coloured pencils now. Let's have a look what I've got with me here. I've got a few that I'm working with here. I've got sort of a purpley colour, and then I've got a dark blue, and then I've got a lighter blue and an even lighter blue. No, it won't. As it goes over the top, it won't stick to it. It won't. If you've got a lot of black ink as well, it won't go over. It will go over that, but just sort of be careful with it. Okay, so I'm going to start with the purple, and I'm just going to again put that lovely little smirk in, but I'm going to make it a little bit larger, you see? And I'm going to do the same with all those little bubbles. Okay. Now you can do one at a time if you like, but I'm gonna do them all at the same time. Now here you're not going to see much at all, maybe just a little bit there. Okay. And then I'm just gonna come in with the darkest blue, and I'm just gonna go over that purple. See, I've left a little bit of a gap, but I'm coming a bit further round that shape there. So same again on all of them. Just I've left the gap, see, around the edge, just coming a bit further round with that blue. And then along here. Okay. Now of course you could have done this colour on any of the pieces, or you can fill the whole tile in with full colour if you want to. I'm just sort of using a bit of an accent kind of thing today. Okay, and you see again, it's not particularly neat at the minute. It's because we're going to fill it all in anyway. So don't need to worry so much about it. And this works really well if you put layers on. So you do it kind of light and then work your way up. Yeah, they're just pencil crayons. Yeah, just pencils. They're actually, today I've got my, there you go, hang on, polychromos today. So, okay, mid blue, and I'm just going to bring it around a bit further. Okay, see, I've almost just got that little sort of pinhole there now. Oh, yeah. And you see that I'm leaving that gap around the edge each time. So that one almost going to fill. And that one. Just sort of working my way around each one. There we go. And then my lightest blue, again. I'm still trying to leave a little bit. You see, I've got a little bit left there, but I've gone over the whole sort of thing now. Even on those. But you'll notice the bit that I've left is not on the edge, it's slightly inside. So the colour now has gone all the way around. Just left that little bit. Of course, these on the edge, you're not going to really have that sort of little light source. It's only going to be these in the middle. Go all the way around now, see? Same again. And I'm just going to sort of fill those in a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to bring in, let's have a look, my darker colour just for a little bit. And I'm just going to sort of re-establish that darkness there. You see? Just on those four. And then my lightest blue again, just sort of over the whole thing. It's just leaving that little bit of light there. Okay. Just sort of gives it a little bit of dimension. Now, of course, you could use black to add your shadow, but I find that when you do that, you can tend to lose the warmth of your colours. So I would use, is it a purple or a darker blue? Okay. So, almost done. I'm going to come back in with my white pencil and just sort of go over the top of that little space. You see where that little mark is there? Just sort of gives it that finish. Okay, it's not going to go over your pencils, because your pencils, you're using the same as me. They're quite waxy, so, or oily, or we don't want to about that. So I'm just going to go over the top of those. It's okay. Let's have a look. Alright, one more thing to do. That's quite nice, I like that. I actually think two more things, I think. I'm going to just come back in with my pen. Big sip of tea, being that John made it for me. And I'm just going to go back around the inside of this aura shape. See here? And just enhance the depth of it. I'm just sort of following the line. I'm not pressing on. I'm just sort of going over the top a couple of times, you see? Same here. There we are. And then same on this one. I'm just sort of working over it a few times. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's amazing how the depth starts to come alive, and just adding that little bit of colour really increases it. I think I'm just going to, I might just do the 4 in the middle. You know, just think about where our focus is. Let's have a look, and then I'll make my mind up. Of course, if you've got a slightly thicker pen, you could do this with a thicker pen. Just don't get too carried away. See the difference that makes? Okay, so this one. Just working my way around there. And it's just about choosing what you want to highlight. I mean, we could have drawn around these ones. Could have drawn around anything really. But the trick is not to do all of it. So because I've chosen to do this shape, then I won't do the others. I'll just stick with this one shape. Okay. Then along this one. Okay. And just sort of working my way around the outsides. So don't worry if it goes over a little bit, and I'm gonna soften up a bit. There we are. Just finishing it off, isn't it? The white pencil is really important, but so is the black. it's got just as much a job role as anything else. So here we go. Into this one. So I know we're not all into our grids. It's nice sometimes just to give something a go, isn't it? There we go. I think there's one up. I want a little bit more. There we go. See, some things now are standing out more than others, and that's what we wanted. We wanted that kind of thing going on. I think I'm just going to come back in with pencil, and where I've put my pen, just going to go over it, regardless of what is underneath with pencil. You see? There we go. There. Now we could have just done pencil to sort of start with, but it's nice to define an area first and say, right, okay, this is where I'm going. Look at the difference that's made. And same with this one. Now, of course, you can choose at this point whether you want to blend it out with a tortillon or whether you want to leave it and just have it as quite a serious shadow there. Let's have a look in a minute. I'll do all of them and then we'll see what we think. Okay. And here we go. See, just add in that pencil. Massive difference. Okay. On there. Again, because we've already shadowed shaded things underneath, they've already got their dimension, so this is sort of adding that next layer, isn't it? This makes all the difference. Okay. So I'm just going to add a little bit of pencil around the outside as well. Just to give it a little bit of... I don't want to sort of cover all of the colour because, you know, they're nice on those corners with that ink in the background. But, you know, this is a great way of having a go at inking if you're not so sure, because you know you're going to cover it up with some shading later. So if you've got sort of little areas that are not as neat as you would have liked, it's not a problem. There we are. So just sort of, there you go, working it round into the next bit. Alright. See, just sort of little swirls, and then I'm just going to soften them away. Last one. Okay, see, just little, and then soften it off. So, that, I think, okay, I'm faffing now, you know that word quite well. Just going to bring my jelly roll in, I think, just to make sure it works. My white pen, and I'm just going to touch on that white. Just want to bring it out just a little bit more. Just those four in the middle. It's going to make, that's it, yeah. So it just brightens that bit up in the middle. Yeah. Black pen again. Okay. And where we've got the dark here, around those bubbles, I'm just going to come back in and enhance one side of it. See, just one side. Almost like drawing the smirk shape again, but just on the lines of that pen. That's it. That's what we wanted. I know, Lynn. That's what we wanted. So I'm not going to blend any of that pencil out anymore. I think that is fine as it is. And if you wanted to add some gel pen in there or a bit of glitter, we've got some prime little centre points here you can do that with. But I'm going to just sign that one now and leave it at that. So there we go. So, all right, what to say then? That's Wednesday's tile on a Monday. I know it sounds Really funny, but yeah. And that's purely because I'm at Create and Craft on Wednesday, and I've got a couple of shows where I'm taking some of our favourite stencils back. So you will be seeing owls and flowers and butterflies and the totem poles and that kind of thing. So yeah, great for further inspiration, so you can get yours out and tangle along. Or it might be one that you've not seen or you didn't pick up on that you might kind of like. So okay, I'll be back here with you on Friday at 2:00. So I hope you can make it. I hope everybody's going to be here. I bet you've posted yours already, Chris. Yeah, I hope everybody's going to be there. So stay safe, everybody. You take care. If there is a problem with any of your orders at any time, then please message me. And I know there's a couple messages come up during this live, so I shall go back over them now and I'll answer them. So if there is anything, just message me and I'll sort it for you. All right, everybody, you take care and I'll speak to you soon. Okay, bye.